I never dreamed of somebody like you. I never dreamed of somebody like you. No, don't wanna fall. Only girl is breaking you. No, don't wanna fall. This you was a wicked thing to say. Never felt this way. Wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. Don't wanna fall in love. Only girl is breaking you up now. Don't wanna fall in love with you. Now, what you're thinking, how did this little podcast about Rock in the Fields and our music festival that we have out in Nederland and we do every August. I thought this, what you're seeing this for a long, long time. Most people want to know when was your first reaction when you first heard about what our festival Rock in the Fields that we held every August long, every year. And also, years before it became what it is today, Rock in the Fields. It went through. It went through a lot because it was the Rock Festival, it was shaking my leg. I mean, I remember my very first time. Granted, this was like years and years and years ago. I was already like very tiny. I was very little, and I remember hearing Nickelback, who played in our festival. I think it was Shaking My Lake. This was like many years. This is like it's almost kind of like a story of how our festival became. Because if you look at past years' lineups of how what they were, because it was like classic rock weekend. It was like our festival was always having like that classic theme. We had like bands like April Wine, Prism, Jack Sample, King Field, and Streetheart, Big Sugar, South Storm, Fist, Shoot Dogs, Chrome, Joe's Massive Attraction, That's the Center, Take with Audio, Filthy Lucre, Tango Block, 18 Rabbit Bugger. So we had Edgar Winter, Nick Gilder. Then we got the Trues, Grady, 5440, Kim Mitchell, Colin James, Loverboy. Like our festival, I always have like the classic rock and always bringing like newer bands, kind of like make it a little more up the ante every year. We had like April Wine. We had like Biff Naked. That was our festival. And at the point, my very first gut reaction, because I was asked what it was like before it was the Rock Festival, Shaking the Lake, because that festival kind of went, I thought my very first reaction, I thought like, it's just gonna fold up and just kind of like, but our festival at the time, it was the Rock Festival that kind of went bankrupt, due to forcing whatever happened. This was like, because I remember overhearing all the stories about our festival, what it was, and how it became Rockin' the Fields. And I was kind of like, at first I did not know what our festival what it was going to be. Like, it was going to be known as Rockin' the Fields. And I thought, you kind of get the sense of like, okay, but you kind of get that feeling in the back of your mind, like, yeah, you're going, a festival that's held in Canada, which to me was, we had our festivals kind of like Canada's Best Kept Secret kind of like music festival, but it was 2012. Now that was when it really kind of did. It was almost like when our festival of Rockin' the Fields became like a little more better. That was when myself was brought into the fold and kind of get a little more depth of what Rockin' the Fields was, because when I was brought in as part of the festival and kind of getting like the 411 about our festival, what it is, because I've been at the festival probably like three times. I mean, back when the festival, like when I was like, I remember first hearing Nickelback, I was very young, and I was back there a second time to see the Headstones. This was like back when everything was happening. It was kind of like, so I heard Nickelback back when I was very little. I do remember this very well because my ears, they always, I was kind of like, wow, this. I know from just hearing Nickelback, Canada's greatest band. I mean, even when I first heard Nickelback, I mean, everybody had probably heard Nickelback music back when that band became what they are, and just seeing how far Nickelback, Canada's greatest band, really has come a long way. Like, just seeing like the depths of Jack Rubin, Brian Peake, Mike Kroger, that they're very well respected. I mean, everybody probably has that old saying, anything could happen. Any band could be in our festival. So, you know. If I had a hunch, it would be Sweet. Yeah, I'll get into that in a second. But it was 2012, and I remember overhearing that I was being brought into a festival and kind of getting a little more experience and kind of seeing what that year's lineup. It had default, it had Finger Eleven, and at first when I heard it, Finger Eleven was going to be performing at a festival that year, I was just like, yes. That year, well, let's give you guys the 411 access of that. This is probably like days and days and days ahead of 2012 Rockin' the Fields, and I was just like, oh, okay. I'm going to be part of Rock and Fearless. And knowing that Finger 11 was going to perform, and I was just like, I already knew that was going to be awesome. Somebody like me, and that's the music experience. That's what, it's part of my DNA. I was, you know, I was given that at when I was very young. This was something that, but I remember hearing that they were putting together this rock off, and they need like judges to judge all these local Canadian bands, and I was like, and I remember hearing our people at our festival that they need judges, so I was like, well. And I remember, I remember it's very, very good that somebody that I think it was one of the people at our festival that they're looking to have a judge who has the knowledge of music, who has like the it factor. And I'm like, put me in. And because I was there, I was like, oh my god, I get to be judged for Rock of 2012 Rock and Heroes. I'd be wow. I was just like, because not only that was something I never thought I get to do. This was something that I was just like, I know I couldn't think of any better thing to do for a festival 2012 Rock and Roots to really make it outstanding. Just something that if I look back at it now, I'm thinking to myself like, I must have done something right. So the day actually have happened, and I'm up doing my thing, getting myself like mentally prepared that I'm judging all these local Canadian bands. I'm just like, I mean, for a festival, I always thought I'd be in good graces because our festival has good people to, you know. And I remember that day judging all these local Canadian bands, and one of those White Trash Heavy Metal. A band that I'm very quite fond of because like when you're judging like all these local Canadian bands, I always felt like if I had like a little more time, I mean, and knowing what bands are for, you kind of get a sense of what they sound like, kind of get like you know. Um, I did not know what to expect of who these are local Canadian bands that I was judging all these four other people that day, and after that was all done and over with, so I was just like, whew, I needed needed something. I was just like, oh. But luckily the food that we had at the festival was here, and I had like a few drinks here, kind of get myself kind of like, I need to like get my mind off take my judging hat off, and just But that same night is when I did meet and greet with Finger 11, one of the bands I have been listening to for a long time. They were once known as Ringo Butt Monkeys. If anybody's seen the picture just on Facebook, like meet and greet with Finger 11, I was just like, yes. So 2013, next year, I agree with from the point of how that year's lineup was really good. I mean, you have Monster Truck, another Canadian band that's really kind of picking up steam ever since the single Sweet Mom River was like played on the radio stations. I was just like, oh my god, Monster Truck's playing at a festival. Oh, besides the other bands, I was just like, we had Mickey Thomas, Starship Trooper, Headpins, Big Wreck, True Theory, Deadman, One Bad Son. But knowing that Monster Truck was playing at a festival and first hearing their track, Sweet Bottle River, that was really been picked up and really play like a good Canadian anthem, I was just like, wow. Like my mind was just like, it was like Monster Truck just dropped like the hugest bomb on music that year, and just like, so I remember standing on deck and just watching everybody. Just I was just I was just myself. I was just kind of like hanging out with people and seeing, and I knew that Monster Truck was already on stage playing. So somebody that I knew very well, and she was like friend of the family, and I had my parents, passes and all that. I had everything kind of like. So she walks up on deck and just like, "Hey, Monster Truck is playing. Wanna go see them?" And I was just like, my mind was just like, "Sure." And I did not know I had VIP passes. Was just like, wow. I was just like, wow. So I'm standing on the main stage behind his tarp thing, the screen thing, and it was like a beautiful day. I was just like, oh my god, it's seen Monster Truck. I was just like, and I remember saying to myself, it almost feels like at this whatever store that's had like music and all that, and you're kind of like behind the scenes, and you're kind of like off to the side, and you're kind of seeing that one band, and I was just like, oh my god, it's like the best experience ever. 2014. Now that was a year for a year of rocking the truth. I was just like it was just like I that year couldn't believe I was just like. When we had Sheepdogs, Brett Michaels, Poison, Fame, Harlequin, Danko Jones, Honey Sweet, Lupo Honey, 3 Years Grace. Now, if anybody has known or seen that, when I heard that 3 Years Grace was performing at a festival, I just marked that on that day because I remember, was it 2010? I know this is a little backstory. It was 2010, Rock on the Range, Winnipeg, and I remember seeing 3 Years Grace live for like the very first time back when Adam was from it. At the time, I was just like, oh my god, if anybody knows, I'm like a huge 3 Years Grace fan. So 2013, Rockin' the Fields. I knew you go swing, go splits, you go swing for defenses and connects. But when I was looking at that year's lineup, I'm thinking like Brett Michaels, the front of that Poison. I'm saying like, I just had this like this, I was like, oh my god, he's performing at a festival. I had this kind of like this, like this look on my face. It's just like I wasn't really quite like Uh, I mean, I'm not like the hugest Poison fan. I mean, granted, I think so. What Bret Michaels has been doing. I mean, I never had the thought in my head. I'm thinking like Bret Michaels just performing at a festival. And just it just never really kind of like. I remember staying outside of the main stage deck and just and I remember hearing that Bret Michaels is going to perform. I was just I wasn't like you know. But Serious Grace was performing at a festival. So one day in particular, it was a Saturday. We had this jam under a tent. Any local bands performing. We had this jam under like this kind of like this free jam. You want to sing a song in front of the mic. I remember parents being like, "Oh, you're not going to get in front of the mic and sing." I'll be like, "Excuse me?" And like, you're trying like, how will I put this? You're trying to stop me from what I'm doing. You're trying, you know, like if anybody knows music, it's kind of like my thing, and, you know. And I remember years and years ago, somebody said, "Oh, well, you." I remember one person in particular, which this person is gonna be name was that you sound like a broken record. But I remember it was 2013 Rockin' the Field, so it was like a free jam, get in front of the mic. Knowing that Serious Grace was performing, and somebody had said, "Oh, you're like you're not gonna sing," I'll be like, "Watch me." So I was like, now some people were saying, was I nervous? Was I kind of like, play up more like a chew? You know what? I want to prove to Serious Grace. So I covered, first time ever, Pain. Pain without love. Pain. Can't get enough. Pain. Like a rough as a raffia pain and nothing over. Pain without love. Pain. Can't get enough. Pain. Like a rough as a raffia pain and nothing over. Raffia pain and nothing over. And I remember thinking in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, holy Shingo. I've never have actually covered that song just like that, the way you guys are hearing first. What was the kind of like the thought process actually covering Pain with Serious Grace? Because everybody knows I'm like the hugest Serious Grace fan. I know mostly like their big hits that they have put out, but Pain was kind of like one of those songs I've been listening to for a long time. I had the song stuck in my head. So I'm thinking, like, you know what, I'm going to cut two birds with one stone. And the other song I did was Chalk Outline. Serious Grace. You let me hear the chalk outline on the sidewalk, wait for the rain. Wash away, wash away. Keep coming back to the scene of crime. The dead can't speak, there's nothing else anyway. All you left behind is a chalk outline. All you left behind is a chalk outline. You let me hear the chalk outline on the sidewalk, wait for the rain. Wash away, wash away. Keep coming back to the scene of the crime. Dead can't speak, it's nothing else anyway. All you left behind is a child. My kind of like people that said to me, "Oh, you're not gonna get it for," I was like, "Oh, you sound like Bucking record." You know what? I proved people wrong, and I'm saying that with a straight face. I'm not saying that I want to prove to people that if you had the, you know, how would I say, the talent or the kahunas to really kind of pull that song like that, I was just like, wow. But to the people that were watching me doing that, I was thinking, they're thinking to themselves, wow, I never had the ability to actually have the, you know, but I had this vision in my head that in the crowd was Adam Gontier of Studio Experience, kind of like watching me, and I was just like, you know, it almost feels like I had like somebody like from Studio Experience, Adam Gontier, who was originally from me at the time. You know, I had this kind of like this vision in my head, but yeah. But going back to the Bret Michaels thing, seeing his performance, I was like, you know what, he really kind of changed my complexion. But actually doing a brief meet and greet with Bret Michaels, I was just like, it was just kind of like a hit and run to meet and greet, but just able to talk to him for like a split second and I actually shook his hand and I was just like, and I remember that night very politically. It was just like I'm talking to Bret Michaels' employees. I was just like I was just like, you know. Some people say, "What was your impression of Bret Michaels?" I mean, from Poison. I'm thinking he was really down to earth. He didn't like. He was just like really kind of like mellow. He wasn't, but just able to shook his hand and then walking back into the thing. And I look at my hand, I'm like, I was just like, I can't believe this shit. I was just like, ding. And then the following year, I mean, we had Daughtry, Night Ranger, Tea Party, Moist, Lies of Leaves and Common, Fresh Goods and Keys, Scenes, Hidden Heart and Dirty Boy. I mean, each one of what happened that year, 2014. I mean, you look at that year's lineup. I mean, biblically, I mean, it was actually a really good one. I mean, granted, Daughtry's performance, which I'll get into in a second, but a Call Like Crush, those guys knocked it out of the park. And I remember checking out their sound check, and I was thinking like, oh my god, I had this like this, just you know, by yeah, Colin Crush's performance, they really just knocked it out of the park. Glorious Sons, and this was quite like this was the one band I had been kind of like hearing bits and pieces of the band Glorious Sons, and especially their track Heavy was off their last album, The Union, which I knew that it was gonna be like they put that song out there and they really just like that song itself. Anybody's heard Glorious Sons Heavy, phenomenal. Oh, it's very kind of like they had that they had that machismo. I mean, that song, it's very kind of like to the point. But I did a meet and greet with the band Glorious Sons. And the band themselves, they were just like, to me, they were just phenomenal. They were kind of like very mellow. They're kind of like laid back. And so I did a meet and greet with the band Glorious Sons. I kind of give them kind of like, he had stuff. Because for a band that's quite like new to music scene, because I know they're to Union, very great album, and their most recent album that they just put out. But it's kind of giving like 411 about the song "Heavy," which I said to them. I said to the guys from Square, I said that I'll just to let you guys know that there's the song "Heavy" that you guys put out on your recent album, "The Union." It was actually used for WWE for their recent pay-per-view at that time. Just kind of giving like a little information, just because most bands today they probably don't know what's happening. So I was kind of like, and my gut reaction, I was just like, I can't believe I gave this band a little props and a little more information, just so they can stay in the loop. And they all looked at each other and they looked at me like, "Wow, thank you." I was just like, I'm very quite grateful that I get to do this. It's not as, I mean, some people say, "Oh, you get to listen to music as a gig." No, this is like my life. This is like what I was brought on this earth to do. There wouldn't have been nothing really else I wanted to do. So I did a meet and greet with a kind of like Crush, Terry Hurst's group. Terry Hurst and the rest of the guys. So back when I doing meet and greet with a kind of like Crush, I'm thinking like, okay, let's see how well this is going. I never had oh, I did have a brief meeting, I didn't see a Colony Crush when they opened for Alice Cooper and got their album. Signed, autographed by them. So I did a meet and greet with Colony Crush, and I really, very, on what shaking um, shaking hands with the rest of the guys. Trevor Hurst of Colin Christian. I know he's probably watching his videos. Trevor, if you're watching, how you doing? So Trevor Hurst kind of like, I'm talking to him, and I shook his hand, and he kind of like stopped singing in my tracks. It was just like, and he's like, "I see your stuff." I'm thinking myself, so wait, it's over on YouTube and all that. And it's just like, wow. But yeah, guys from Colin Crush, they were just phenomenal. But yeah, say what you want about Daughtry's performance that he closed out the night. It was kind of like 2015. I mean, we had Our Lady Peace, Lover Boy, 5440, Sloan, Age of Electric, King Shields, Grapes of Wrath from the Center. I mean, I did a meet and greet with the band Sloan that year. And, I'm like, Sloan fan. But No Sinner, a band that I've been listening to for like little smidgens here and there, but their performance from No Sinner, wow. I mean, from No Sinner, ways that she just had to, you know, saying this, if you got it, show me what you got. When I did a meet and greet with Sloan, like this was like prior to that day, and I was just checking out what was happening in the music headlines, and the one that really just kind of like, and it said big letters, Barbara thought that it said solo frontman Chris Murphy is launching a side project. I'm saying like, what? I was like, so the day I did a meet and greet, I had mentioned to Chris Sloan. I was thinking like, I overheard, read that you're watching the side project, and he like says to me, "Don't let these guys know." I'm saying like, but, yeah, Sloan, and then last year, I'm saying like it was to me the best lineup. I'm saying like in the past years, they were like it was kind of like, but last year's lineup, oh my god, it was just. We had our kettles, we had shoes, we had Dick Brick, Glass Tiger, I Mother, Barney Dyke, Joey Landers, Tara Lightfoot, the Pistons, Johnson Frick, Camila Coast, Banner Rasmus, John McDowell, Opera Blue, 18 Brown, Kate Douglas, Kate Dunn, Chris Funk, the one in the Daisy Chain. I mean, to me, I know that last year's lineup, I mean, it was going to be one for the ages, especially when you had a magician. Like, I know people are probably watching this and they're like, wait, there was a magician that formed at Rockin' the Truth in Mendoza? Somebody will say, what was your reaction? I remember, I think it was like Friday night, and I see his magician on the main stage and doing like all these magician tricks, something like. And I was just like this. Oh, that was my reaction. But so we were saying, what was your favorite performance? What was the band that really kind of like impressed you? Terry Lightfoot. I mean, hearing her stuff through CBC Radio 2, I mean, she just killed it. Key McDonald, I'm thinking like, okay. Until she covered a Serena Ryder cover, Sheryl Crow, Silk of the Sun, and Teresa Chapman. I'm thinking like, wow. For somebody like Key McDonald to really cover a Serena Ryder cover, I'm thinking like, wow. Kate's Outlaws, I mean, their performance was really good. Did a meet and greet with the band Arkells, good old King Hamilton boys. Very well, like very well done there. But their performance, they just it was just like out of here. Their performance, they really just. But glad I did meet and greet with them. I Mother Earth. No, say what you want about the band. It would have been a lot sweeter, a lot more better if Brian was still frontman of I Mother Earth. I mean, Edwin, he's not Brian, because Brian to me was much more better suitable frontman than what he was at the time when he was part of I'm on theirs. Now somebody would say, well, Edwin, I'm not putting him underneath the bus. He's a good friend, but it would have been sweet. Ryan was still from I'm on theirs, but yeah.